Okay, on to the electronic installation. We're going to move on to installing servos inside the wing for the aileron movement. It's taped here. I've already pre-marked where the servos are actually going to sit. I've actually marked there as to where I want both pegs to sit at, and the servo is going to sit in the middle here. I'm just going to dab it up here a little bit. A little bit on both lines. Give it a little pressure so that epoxy sinks in there. So we'll let those sit there and cure. Okay, you can see here, we're all dried up. So let's go ahead and move with the next step of inserting the servo into the slot. As you see, it lines up here. Still have to remove the covering for the outside, but it lines up perfectly so the servo will give the left and right turn. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do here is drill some pilot holes. By these blocks being thin, you don't want to try to force the screw right in there because you'll split the block and you'll find yourself doing some unnecessary rework, trying to get the epoxy off the wood and having to sand. So I'm just going to drill a little bit in here. End result will be 4 screws holding this servo in place. So as you can see, I have both already screwed in there. Epoxy is pretty much cured. Now by these fitting in the wings like this, I'm going to add some servo extensions. These are 12 inches servo extensions. So we'll go ahead and plug this in here. Plug that one in. There we have it. Okay, so since we got these all screwed in, I got my servo wire hooked up. It's important you put a little piece of tape inside there. Make sure it's fully in there. Little safety precaution here so you know the wire doesn't come loose. Inside here there's a drawstring that I'm going to pull out with the curved needle nose pliers. So there's the drawstring. Now if I grab this, sheet here again, throw a little tape around this just to hold it. There's another end right there. That's going to allow me to pull the wire straight through, no hassles. Now we have both sides there. So it's the servos. Everything fits right back in place here. Close that one back up. still have to put on the hinges here, which is going to allow the servo to actually make this aileron move. But right now, basically what I'm doing is just inserting the servos in all the areas they go to. So now we'll get to the back of the elevator servo, which I already pre-cut as earlier in the video. Before I epoxied this, I ran the cable inside here. There's going to be another opening here for the rudder, is where I catch this wire at. So I'll go ahead and trim this out to fit exactly the size of the servo. You see I got the servo area cut out, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and plug this wire in, make sure the colors are lined up, tape it up back here again as I did with the aileron servos. Take the white piece of tape off, add some 3M tape there. We're all taped up. Insert the wiring. So as you can see now, I've got the elevator servo installed. This wire's ran through this fuselage here, as you've seen before I epoxied this tail on. I actually ran it out this side. Now this is where the rudder elevator servo is going to be. So now this wire is going to lead to probably about somewhere into the fuselage. There's the yellow wire. Just pull it on through there. Two wires. So I'll go ahead and finish cutting the hole here. There we have it. The last servo will be for the steering, but I'm going to skip that part because I'm not quite that far with the landing gear yet. So we have the ailerons, we have the rudder servo, and we have the elevator servo. So we're moving right along here. I'm going to go ahead and probably hook up the hinges here and plug it into a receiver to make sure everything's working with all those wires being ran through here, to make sure I got power to everything before I finalize everything and think I'm good to go and something's not working. Don't want to do any rework.